Hello friends, welcome to the lecture on reservoir planning. In today's lecture, we will discuss about various zones with respect to reservoir and how the reservoir capacity can be determined. Also, we are going to see how a safe yield from the reservoir can be determined. So let us start. In earlier lecture, we already have discussed these levels: maximum water level, full reservoir level, minimum drawdown level, dead storage level, etc. Now we have to see the various storages. So the live storage, reservoir storage zones includes various storages. So first is the live storage zone. This is the storage available for the intended purpose between full supply level and invert level of the lowest discharge outlet. The full supply level is normally that level above which overspill to waste would take place. So this is the live storage. As you can see, live storage. Once again, we will move to the definition. This is the storage available for the intended purpose between the full supply level and the invert level of the lowest discharge outlet. Full supply level, that is FRL, and the lowest below this outlet. This total level is what? The live storage capacity. This may also be termed as the volume of water actually available at any time between dead storage level and the lower of the actual water level and full reservoir level. Now the dead storage. It is the total storage between the invert level of the lowest discharge outlet from the reservoir. It may be available to contain sedimentation provided the sediment does not adversely affect the lowest discharge. So dead storage, it is below this DSL. The entire portion, it is dead storage. It will accommodate the cell storage capacity. Then the outlet surcharge or flood storage. This is required as a reserve between full reservoir level, that is FRL, and the maximum water level to contain the peak of floods that might occur when there is insufficient storage capacity for them below full reservoir level. So outlet surcharge or flood storage, it is in between FRL and maximum water level. FRL and maximum water level. This portion, the capacity over here, it is the outlet surcharge or flood storage. Then buffer storage. This is the space located just below the dead storage level up to minimum drawdown level. From dead storage level up to minimum drawdown level, this is what the buffer storage is. As the name implies, this zone is a buffer between the active and dead storage zones, and releases from this zone are made in dry situations to cater for essential requirements only. Dead storage and buffer storage together is called inactive storage. Then yield. It is the amount of water that can be supplied from the reservoir in a specified interval of time which is chosen for the design, varies from a day for small distribution reservoirs to an year for large conservation reservoirs. So the amount of water that can be supplied from the reservoir in a specified duration, whether it is per day or per annum, it is what called as a yield. Then safe yield. It is the maximum quantity of water that can be guaranteed during the critical dry period. Secondary yield. It is the quantity of water available in excess of safe yield during the periods of high flood. Average yield. It is the arithmetic average of the firm and the secondary yield over a long period of time. Now, this is one of the interesting part which we have to use actually for the determination of reservoir capacity. This is a mass inflow curve. It is a plot of accumulated flow in a stream against time. So as you can see on time, you can see on x-axis the time varies in years from 1957, 58, 59, 60. Likewise, several years are shown, and on y-axis the mass inflow 1000 hectometer it is shown. So every year there is cumulative addition of the inflows it is done, and the corresponding result is the curve which is called as the mass inflow curve. It is a plot of accumulated flow in a stream against time. When we say accumulated, then we have to do addition. Every subsequent year we have to add the next year's data again for the current year, next year data for the next year, again next year data, so on. We are going to we are adding it to get this graph. This is called as the mass inflow curve. Then the mass demand curve, just like mass inflow curve, it is a mass demand curve. It is a plot of accumulated demand with time. So whenever there is a water, there will be demand by various parameters, like for agricultural purpose, for industrialization, for household. There are various demands. So all demands, when cumulatively they are taken into consideration, in a single word we call it as a demand. So if the demand is constant for several years, so it will show a straight line for the demand like in graph, and if it is varying with respect to time, then it will be a variable demand like this. So as you can see, it is time for 1 year they have taken, and this is accumulated demand hectare meters, accumulated demand in hectare meters. If the demand is constant, it will be a constant line, straight line mass demand curve. It is variable uh, mass demand curve in that case. Reservoir capacity. So ultimately, when we talk about the reservoir, it is necessarily to be built for the storage of the water, which will in turn to be utilized by the civilization. So to estimate the reservoir capacity, there are only two things, that is the input and the output. Input means what? How much mass inflow it is there and how much is the demand. So based on these two factors, one can determine the reservoir capacity. Depends upon this reservoir capacity, depends upon the inflow available and the demand. If inflow in the river is always greater than the demand, then there is no storage requirement. If the inflow in the river is small but the demand is huge, it is very high, then a large reservoir capacity is required in that case. The required capacity of a reservoir can be determined by the following methods. First is the graphical method using mass curves, and second is the analytical method. So we will move towards the graphical method first of all. As you can see here, a mass curve it is drawn, and with help of some graphical what you can say exercise, one can determine the demand. So how to estimate the demand? Let us see. Prepare a mass inflow curve from the flow hydrograph of the site for a number of consecutive years, including the most critical years or the driest years when the discharge is low. So first step is to prepare the uh, curve from the flow hydrograph. So you have to prepare a mass inflow curve for n number of years. Then prepare the mass demand curve for the corresponding to the given rate of demand. Second step is to find out the mass demand curve. If the rate of demand is constant, the mass demand curve is a straight line. The scale of the mass demand curve should be the same as the mass inflow curve. This care we have to take. The scale of both the graphs should be same for mass inflow as well as the mass demand curve. This is the demand curve as you can see over here. For a single year, it is stated over here. Now draw the lines ABFG. This A, B, F, G such that they are parallel to the mass demand curve and they are tangential to the crests. Crests are the highest point. A, F, etc. of the mass curve. They are tangential to the A, they are tangential to the F, which are the crest on the mass inflow curve. And these lines, these dotted lines are parallel to the demand curve. That care we have to take. Determine the vertical intercepts CD, HJ, etc. between the tangential lines and the mass inflow curve. We have to determine this intercept CD, HJ, etc. between the tangential lines and the mass inflow curve. These intercepts indicate the volumes by which the inflow volumes shortfall of the demand. Inflow volume shortfalls the demand by these intercepts. This much intercept, this much volume of water it is required to fulfill the demand. It is the indication by these ordinates. Assuming that the reservoir is full at point A, assuming that the reservoir is full at point A, the inflow volume during the period AE, the inflow volume during the period AE, this is the period AE, is equal to the ordinate DE and the demand is equal to ordinate CE. DE and demand is equal to CE, total demand, CE. Thus, the storage required is equal to the volume indicated by the intercept CD. The storage required by the reservoir will be equal to the volume indicated by this intercept CD. Determine the largest vertical intercepts found in step 4. The largest vertical intercept represents the storage capacity required. So the capacity estimation part is over. Now we have to determine the safe yield from a reservoir of a given capacity. Now the capacity is known to you and you are required to find out the safe yield, how much water you can extract from the reservoir safely without harming. So for that also we have to go graphically. So prepare the mass inflow curve, draw straight lines from a common origin representing the demands at various rates, say ranging from 0 to 5000 hectare-meter per year. So first of all you have to prepare the mass inflow curve for several years and you have to draw from a single origin, you have to draw various demand lines like 1000 hectares meters, 2000 hectare meter, 2500 hectare meter. Likewise you have to draw these lines. Then from the apices A1, A2, A3, etc. of the mass curve, draw the tangents in such a way that their maximum departure from the mass curve does not exceed the specified reservoir capacity. So second step is what? From the apices A1, A2, A3. A1, A2, A3 are the apices, apex. And you have to draw a tangent from these apices in such a way that their maximum departure, the departure of the tangent, the departure or maximum departure of the tangent should not exceed the specified reservoir capacity. If your reservoir capacity is say 1500 hectare meter, then you will not allow this tangent to deviate from the 1500 hectare meters. So accordingly you have to adjust the tangent and you have to draw the tangent. Thus in the figure the ordinates E1 D1, E1 D1, E2 D2, E3 D3 etc. are all equal to the reservoir capacity, say 1500 hectare meter. For this case it is considered. Measure the slopes of these tangents. Now you have to measure the slopes of these individual tangents. The slopes indicates the yield which can be attained in a year from the reservoir of given capacity. These slopes will give you the yield that can be attained in each year from the reservoir of given capacity. I hope we have understood how to estimate this safe field, how to estimate the reservoir capacity. For numerical parts, I will request you to go through these standard reference books. Further, if you face any difficulty, if you are having any doubt, you can ask me on my email address dnpatankarce@sanjeevani.org.in. Thank you for listening. Happy learning.